and gentlemen, excuse me. Oh my goodness, do not fall asleep around Al Franken. My goodness, he will find you. He will find his way into your studio. Oh my goodness, excuse me, recovering. It's been a long week of work here trying to cover everything, and I just fell asleep for a second there, and next thing I know, Franken is trying to grab me. Well, folks, welcome into the War Room. I'm your host, Owen Schroyer, awoken by Al Franken here today. We've got Jack Posobiec joining us in the second hour, Stephanie Hamill in the third hour. Millie Weaver will be joining me here momentarily to talk about the Hillary Clinton book signing in Austin, Texas. But you'll notice something. There's now 9 accusers of Roy Moore and 900 headlines. How many of these women have gone public with their image? How many of these women have gone on television? How many of these women have gone on the radio to do interviews? How many of these women are actually out in public, publicly speaking, engaged and active in this campaign? It's just Lisa Bloom, the same lawyer who tried to foist allegations against Trump, and then the same ladies that accused backed away. Shocking. So what's the big difference? Leanne Tweeden shows you photographic evidence, goes on television, and goes on the radio. Silence from Roy Moore's accusers. But first, here is a video from Ami Horowitz, who goes to UC Berkeley and shows you just how much they hate America.
Hi, I'm Ami Horowitz. Sadly, there's been a lot of controversy around some of our American symbols, like the national anthem. So I went to UC Berkeley to see what the student reaction would be to another national symbol, the American flag. I love America. This country stands for freedom. Yeah, the little piece of freedom in my hand. Who protects freedom? This guy. I am pumped. The greatest country on planet Earth that protects all freedoms, right? No? Greatest country in the world, right?
No, the opposite.
The opposite?
Complete opposite.
No? Why not?
Yeah, Canada's pretty great.
You know what I'm talking about? That thing's freaking me out. Big time.
One imperial power right now in the world.
It signifies military rule.
God is not proud of us. America.
This country.
America. Wow. Why would you say that?
I seen you walking around with the little Star of David.
Flick me off?
Flag successful.
Because she said my flag sucked, I wanted to see what the reaction would be with, well, another flag that's out there in the news. I stand against America. ISIS protects Islam. I denounce the United States. The black flag of ISIS will stand over the White House. I denounce Western imperialism. I denounce American imperialism.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
Thank you.
I love that you're saying that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. ISIS is love. We don't have hate in our hearts unless you stand against us. Then we kill. The attack in New York was a blow. I flaunt your American smoking rules. After spending several hours waving my ISIS flag, shouting pro-ISIS, anti-American rhetoric, a sum total of 1 person was upset by it.
So how do you like that, folks? Ami Horowitz goes to UC Berkeley, waves an American flag, gets told to F off, told he's a bigot, he's the worst, waves an ISIS flag, and gets cheered on. There's the liberal indoctrination of our universities right there, folks, right there. Welcome to the War Room. I'm your host, Owen Schroyer. We are live here Friday, November 17th, 2017. I've got stacks of news, all kinds of stuff. A story I have right here I think is going to interest our audience that no one's really talking about. It's a little old, but I haven't seen it anywhere. We'll get to that. ICE Operation Raging Bull. We've got an update there. I've got just tons of news updates. Jack Posobiec in the second hour, Stephanie Hamill in the third hour. Lead poisoning is now hitting the water in New York City. It's not just Michigan. You've got a Russian scientist that has just successfully undergone the first head transplant, or I guess he successfully did the first head transplant procedure, connecting spinal cord and nerves and stuff to not a living head, but scientists do believe that that is the next step. But first, Millie Weaver joins me in studio to talk about what she experienced down at the Hillary Clinton book signing. Millie, it seemed like Hillary wanted to keep this tour date kind of under the radar. She took it off her website early. You couldn't really get into this. I had a couple people said that they tried to infiltrate. They couldn't do it. It was really tightly locked down.
Oh, yeah.
What did you experience when you were there?
Well, I just kept thinking about the comments that Donna Brazile made about Hillary Clinton's staff being very cult-like, because that really described exactly how they were. The minute I was there, obviously I was wearing my Bill Clinton raped shirt.
So you triggered them right off the get-go.
Oh, yeah. I stood out definitely right out the get-go, and I instantly started being followed and stalked and harassed by Hillary Clinton's staff and her private security.
What were they wearing? Like, what do you mean by this? Like, were they like secret security detail or private detail?
From what I could tell, they were private detail. You had two different, like one guy was wearing a suit, had an earpiece, and kept radioing in, and he was there when she first rolled up with her
So you're being
motorcade.
stalked by professional security
And then the other guy was like some kind of a private security with like a fake looking badge and like a little like mock cop outfit, but they weren't police. And so those two guys were following me around, stalking me. One of the guys actually kept pushing his body into mine, and I kept telling him to stop because, you know, I'm like, stop touching me. Do not touch me. Do not push your body into me. You know, otherwise I'm going to, you know, press charges on you for harassment or
start screaming
assault.
Weinstein.
You know, I don't feel comfortable with you pushing your body up against my body. Like, what the heck? And it was just the amount of liberals there that were just completely in mindset of cult following was insane. Like, they were so triggered by my shirt. We've got it all.
Okay, but all right, but let's break this down.
We've got it
So
all.
the book signing was supposed to start at noon, correct?
That's right.
All right, so what time did you get there?
I probably got there at around 11:30.
All right.
You could tell a lot of the other people there were waiting for a while. They had chairs and
So long
sitting on the
lines
floor.
outside the bookstore to see Hillary?
It wrapped around the whole bookstore.
So
It
you would
did.
say probably a couple hundred people?
You know, with how many liberals we have in Austin, there were maybe 1,000, maybe even 1,000.
And we've got the B-roll rolling behind us. We'll roll some of this footage in the next segment. All right, so you show up. You're about 30 minutes before the event is about to go down. There are some good people that are standing outside there, and they get fully triggered, the good liberals, by your shirt.
Oh, yes.
And
Fully triggered.
We'll play this footage, and you guys can hear the interactions in the next segment. So I'm just trying to get the idea. So why did security start following you, though? You weren't really harassing anyone or screaming, were you?
No, I was just going and asking questions, talking to people. They just started following me around because I had this shirt.
So you think just the shirt
Oh, yeah.
triggered a response from her private security?
And then they came over. One of them actually walked like almost to me, but then he did an about face when he saw the INFOWARS moniker. And then as soon as they realized INFOWARS, that was when the following, stalking, harassing. There were other media outlets there that were talking to people, but I was the only one that was being followed around and intimidated. And yeah, of course, some of the interactions between myself and Hillary supporters, the Hillary supporters were getting pretty vile and nasty and yelling and stuff. So it was somewhat confrontational, but I wasn't being aggressive. I wasn't being disrespectful. I was just asking questions about.
Did they address the Bill Clinton rape shirt?
You know what's kind of funny is they got really triggered and upset about it.
But did they actually address it, though? Were they like, yeah, okay, Bill Clinton, you're right?
Well, no, they said, well, that's from his past. Well, you know what? Then why are you guys highlighting Roy Moore's past? If you don't want to talk about Bill Clinton's past, what about Roy Moore's past? And I also said, you guys want to talk about all these women coming forward with this hashtag Me Too and them being sexually assaulted. But when I come out and try to bring awareness to this Bill Clinton rape shirt and the fact that he's had women accuse him of sexual assault, brutal sexual assault, rape
cases.
Exactly. They didn't want to hear it. They got so mad, so triggered. I had a woman try to smack the mic out of my hand. Some of them got aggressive and actually
Oh,
assaulted
they
me.
love that thing to try to rip the mic away.
Yeah, like hit it
that's the
down or
little
rip
thing.
it around. Like, oh yeah.
Pull the cord.
Yeah. There's
Okay,
no,
so what about though? Okay, so what about the bookstore staff? Did you have to deal with them at all?
Oh, well, I don't think the bookstore staff really came up and approached us. It seemed like there were two ladies that came up to us very triggered. They were like frantically like, "You're harassing people. You're horrible. You can't be here."
Cult leaders.
And they were like super frantic. "You need to leave now. You need to leave now." And I said, "I'm on a public street. I'm on a public sidewalk. You need to leave now." That's what I said. I was like, "Well, you need to leave if I need to leave because you don't get to tell me to leave." They're like, "We're going to call the police." Please call them. Please call them. But yeah, it was just really cult-like. And you can't just have an open dialogue and discussion and try to inform some of them on these other women like Kathleen Willey and Juanita Broadwick and these other women, because some of them don't know those specific stories. Some of them only knew about the Monica Lewinsky scandal, which, you know, okay, he had consensual sexual interaction with a woman. It was consensual. Yes, he was married, okay? But the real reason he got impeached was because of lying under oath. That was the real reason that he had gotten impeached, not because of having consensual sex with a woman. That's not even the real issue. The real issue is the other women that claim he brutally raped them. You know.
And then later on in the broadcast today, I've got clips from Democrats yesterday on the Hill calling for Trump's impeachment, citing a bunch of different reasons, which, again, can be said for Obama, Bush, Clinton. It's just they never want to say it until Trump. So it sounds to me it's just
hypocritical.
Like you showed up, you wanted to cover the event, and it just immediately upon you being there, the shirt, the INFOWARS mic flag, sent them into a total meltdown.
Triggering, the massive triggering, the looks, the stares,
But like, what is it like for these people?
Cursing and yelling.
They're obsessed with Hillary Clinton. It's literally like their goddess. I mean,
I kept asking them what happened, you know, like what happened? Did you read the book? Did you find out what happened?
Did they read the book?
Some of them were like, "No, I haven't read it yet," or "I read like a quarter way through. I hadn't really."
Sure, they did.
I don't think I even talked to somebody that said they read the whole book. It seems like it'd be really boring. Just
I would actually bet you more Trump supporters read the book simply out of curiosity than actually Clinton supporters.
Probably.
I don't think Clinton supporters read books.
I doubt it. Yeah, no.
They did. They wouldn't vote for Clinton.
Yeah. I was asking him, well, what happened with the Bill Clinton rape allegations? What happened with uranium? You know, what happened with Benghazi? Why did she say, what difference does it make? Don't you think that was a little bit callous? And they would just huff and puff and they, you know, not really real answers a lot of the times. It was what you would expect at a Hillary Clinton book signing event.
I can't believe that people are still going out to these things. You know, that's the craziest thing to me is why waste your time? You never read the book. She's a total failed candidate. And I'm telling you, folks, there's investigations. I'm almost convinced now. There's investigations ongoing into so much stuff that we wouldn't even believe it. These people are honestly about to go down, and it's all thanks to President Trump. We're going to have the exclusive footage on the other side. Don't go anywhere. So this story comes out of Reuters today. With Thanksgiving right around the corner, 1 in 3 U.S. adults, use that term loosely, to avoid talking politics over holiday season. Now, this has been an ongoing trend, not to talk politics with your family over holidays because it's obviously a very triggering event. But I'm not surprised that 1 in 3 adults won't talk politics over holiday season. I'm not saying you have to or don't, you should or whatever. I'm just saying when you've got people that show up to a political event that won't talk politics, how do you expect them to do it at dinner? When you've got people that show up at a Hillary Clinton book signing or that show up at a Trump protest and then you say, hey, how was Hillary's book? Didn't read it. Hey, why should Trump be impeached? Shut up, racist. How could they be expected to talk politics over Thanksgiving? So, Millie, we're about to air this footage. Just briefly describe what our audience is about to see here.
Well, you're just going to see massive amounts of triggering. But before we get to the triggering video, I wanted to touch on the fact that we caught Hillary Clinton needing help out of her car. And
oh, you mean she's unhealthy?
Oh, I mean, yeah, definitely.
Like INFOWARS reported and then was called fake news and then was verified and vindicated time and time again?
Do you remember hashtag Hillary, hashtag fainting Hillary? All of the times that we've seen her fall, faint,
she was coughing up. She coughed up like little goblin eggs into a cup.
Yeah. Oh man, that was so nasty. Yeah. I was there. That was really bad.
I've never seen anything like that.
That was really bad. And the same way they have like this hovering, overprotective, crazy security and staff. We saw that again here today. And they even had a garage that was like shutting, and we just in the nick of time caught, you know, the footage of her getting helped up. I mean, the guy literally had to grab her arm and like lift her up.
So she's still basically being tossed around like a sack of potatoes.
Basically, I think what they did was they halted.
Yeah, there she is.
They halted the people at the front of the line from going into the bookstore so that she could then go and sit in her chair, stationary or whatever, probably. And that way she wouldn't be seen.
Yeah, and there's her boot too. She's got a little boot on.
She does have a boot, and a lot of people are wondering what happened. Was it a fall due to her ill health? Is she hiding an ankle monitor? Or is it just a legitimate injury? What do you guys think? I actually have a poll up on Twitter right now where you guys can vote to see what you think the real reason is that she has this boot on.
I mean, you wouldn't need a boot like that to hide an ankle monitor, but I could see how Hillary Clinton would go to the utmost lengths
to make sure nobody saw it.
Well, without any more hesitation, let's now go to Millie Weaver's report from the Hillary Clinton book signing in Austin, Texas.
What do you think about Hillary Clinton selling some of our uranium to the Russians?
Fake news.
That's fake news? Really? Do you
Yeah.
What do you think about Bill Clinton and having all these women come forward about raping them?
What do you think about Alex Jones's ridiculous behavior on air and his ranting and raving and his, you know...
Is ranting and raving and being entertaining against the law?
I don't consider it.
Is he running for office?
I see you're using his network, though, and you've got, you know, his propaganda imprinted on your brain.
But don't you think that Hillary Clinton as a woman, if she's really for women that haven't been, you know, sexually assaulted and stuff, don't you think she should have divorced Bill?
Have a nice day.
What do you think about Bill Clinton? Whoa, whoa, somebody got triggered here. That you don't grab my microphone. I won't grab any of your personal items, ma'am.
Scare you? Are you a little snowflake? I'm so sorry.
Doesn't scare me, but I have boundaries here.
All right, this is amazing.
Oh, it's so sad. You're so pathetic.
Oh my! I was literally about to say how pathetic she was.
Looks, hostility. Hello.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. Oh,
You've been nothing but
shirt?
sweet.
Is it because of my shirt?
I think it's because you work for that trash organization.
Yeah, because of INFOWARS.
Because of INFOWARS?
Which is a...
That's what they've done. They dehumanized us. That's what they want. They want to dehumanize us.
They don't have a real argument.
And how you're not real journalists.
Okay. Well, let's talk
not
about
real people.
CNN,
We're not even real people.
NBC, all of these other mainstream media organizations that have been caught in fake news over and over, time and time again.
Yeah, give me an example.
They were pushing that Trump was lying about having been spied on by the Obama administration, okay? And guess what? Then later they had to say, oh, wait, we were wrong. And while INFOWARS all along was saying, no, we have sources that say that that was true. And guess what? It came out in congressional hearings that, yes, Trump was being eavesdropped on. What do you think about Juanita Broderick and Kathleen Willey and the women that have come forward?
He looks like he's in a lot of pain.
He's triggered.
Just trying to think is hard for him.
I don't really know. I mean, I'm really
You're giving me a headache, making me think.
I had a lot of male vitality.
My brain hurts
last night. Getting really excited for this event, and I went to the chili parlor this morning to eat a big bowl of chili, and I just.
Oh, he's trying to make fun of Alex Jones.
He's LARPing
right now. I think is this Hillary Clinton? I don't know. My kids got taken away from me. I'm just really depressed right now. This is a mistake for me talking with y'all, but I wish y'all the best. So.
You seem pretty triggered right now.
Not really triggered. I'm just really depressed and a little hungover.
You're shaking and...
I'm really hungover. My kids got taken away.
Whose kids got taken? Your kids got taken away?
Yeah, you know, my kids got taken away. My wife took them away from me.
Oh, boy, these people.
He's LARPing.
I know he's trying to troll me. Alex didn't lose his kids.
Yeah, I just, you know, I'm
It's funny that you say that because you obviously followed the first part of the case, but you didn't follow it to the end to find out that he actually got primary custody.
You can tell this guy's actually in pain right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He was
I
shaking.
need for you to go because you were upset.
Okay, this is part of her staff.
For you to go.
We care about our customers. This is a customer
let's
event.
both go.
Oh no, okay, so this is the book people. Okay.
Other people to
This
come
was
get chat
part.
here.
Call him.
Yeah,
Call
they
him.
work
Do you know
there.
where I'm standing right now? That's the funny part. Do you know where I'm standing? I'm
So
standing
they're actually
on
working
the
at the
public
bookstore.
Yes.
sidewalk.
This is
Oh
fine.
boy, they're
You're being
lucky that you were
inappropriate,
there
and you know
and
you're
not
being
me.
inappropriate. Please go.
I would probably made him cry.
Really, like, this is like tyrannical right here. You don't believe in the First Amendment, do you?
You are being inappropriate. You are upsetting people.
You're so
You need to go.
inappropriate, Millie.
Are you
Go.
upset? Is that why?
You have upset people. You know you did it. You need to go.
You know you did it. You know you did it.
Look at this.
Send the Secret Service here then.
Inappropriate, and you need to.
She's got her nasty woman shirt on. Look at her.
She's upsetting people, and she's causing an issue. Thank you so
This
much.
poor
She's
this,
upsetting
this
people.
security guard comes over and he's like, okay. He's like,
All right,
you know,
well,
I'm sorry.
I'm just
There's
standing here on a
mentally
public
handicapped people
sidewalk
here.
right now, in
You're
the
offending
public.
them.
No, this security
If
guard was
people are
part of
standing
Hillary's
here,
private
look,
security.
She's making sure
He
people
causes
are okay.
problems.
I mean, I don't know.
Anyone,
I feel
if
bad for
anyone's
the security
intimidating,
guard. I mean,
the
he's
way
got
they
to
come up in my
babysit.
face, trying to intimidate me, you know.
But yeah, here's
Give me a break.
Millie's free
I have a
speech.
question. When all those other celebrity women come out and say #MeToo, when all those other women
Go
say
away.
#MeToo, it's valid.
lady?
But when we talk about the women that accused Bill Clinton, that's not valid.
He's assaulting, trying to grab the mic.
Don't touch me, lady.
Go away. Wow.
You suck.
Okay. Well,
She said, you suck.
I can't say I'm surprised by anything I just saw there.
Yeah.
A bunch of pathetic. It's honestly sad. These people have been brainwashed. They've been victimized by propaganda. But you notice what it is, Millie? They've dehumanized InfoWars. They've dehumanized you. So they look at you and you're less than human now. You're scum.
Of course, it's in their mind. They have every right to bully me, assault me, scream and yell, curse at me, and just treat me horribly. It's pretty disgusting.
Well, that's
their
women's
behavior.
liberation.
They're nasty
Think
women.
like me, or I'll bully you. Welcome back to the War Room. You just saw Millie Weaver's report from the Hillary Clinton book signing here in Austin. Pretty interesting stuff. For one, Hillary Clinton still clearly not healthy. She's got a boot on her right foot. I believe it was her right foot for some reason. Nobody knows why. She couldn't get up out of the car under her own power. She had to be lifted up out of the car like a sack of meat. Of course, that's how she's been treated, I guess, her whole life by Bill Clinton, but that's neither here nor there. And then Millie goes and talks to the Hillary Clinton supporters that are there for the book signing, and what does she find out? It's a bunch of nasty women. No, not the cool, hip Ashley Judd nasty woman that hangs out with Harvey Weinstein and then complains about it 20 years later. I mean, literally like disgusting, foul-mouthed, ignorant, nasty women. So you saw how much they hate InfoWars, folks, and that's not because they know who we are or follow what we do or have ever actually probably listened to an Alex Jones show or any of our broadcasts here at InfoWars.com. They've never tried our products. They've never looked into any of the stuff we talk about that always ends up being right. They've just been brainwashed into hating InfoWars, thinking we're this, that, and the other thing without actually finding out for themselves. And this is how they dehumanize us. And then once they dehumanize us, then they can erase us and there won't be any cries because we're not human. So that's how that works. But thanks to you and your support at InfoWarsStore.com, we are independent and they cannot just erase us as long as you support us. We've got new products at InfoWarsStore.com. You can see right there in the fold, Carnivore and Floralife. 2 new products at InfoWarsStore.com, both at an introductory price of 33% off. And then 50% off specials going on right now include Caveman, Z-Shield, Vitamin Mineral Fusion, Super Blue Fluoride-Free Mouthwash, and Secret 12 Vitamin B12. All of those products are 50% off. DNA Force, that's currently in stock right now, 25% off. And everything that I've just mentioned falls under the free shipping category because you have free shipping going on store-wide at InfoWarsStore.com. So check out some of our great supplements at InfoWarsStore.com. Check out some of our T-shirts, ball hats, water purifiers, air filters, emergency food supplies. We've got just about everything. Home products, soap, deodorant, toothpaste. You can find just about everything at InfoWarsStore.com. So help us not be erased by the establishment and by the liberals that hate us and don't even think we're human. But isn't that sad? Honestly, it's sad that because of my political beliefs, I literally could never get along with those people. And it's not because I don't want to get along. It's because they don't think I'm human. They think I'm total scum and I am the lowest form of life on earth, simply because I'm a Trump supporter. They don't know anything about me. They don't know anything about my past. They don't know anything about what I do every day. They don't know anything about Millie. They just hate her because she has an InfoWars mic flag and because she knows what Bill Clinton has done in his past. So that's the type of attack that we are under. Now, President Trump is under attack as well. So you know what I'm going to do in the next segment? In fact, guys, we're actually missing a clip here. So let's make sure that we find this clip in the break. I've got the one clip that I put in there that's impeach Trump, but someone else put together another clip of Steve Cohen. It's actually a time clip. You can get it. It's about 5 minutes long. So I want to have both of those clips in the next segment. So we'll get to that. First, let me just get to some news here that I've got. So this story's gone viral. Navy admits to being involved in obscene art, if you will, in the sky. And this is in Washington. Officials with the Naval Air Station said one of their aircraft was involved in obscene sky writings spotted in Okanogan County. And basically what you have here is, I guess, a naval aircraft drew a phallic image in the sky. Twig and berries, if you will. Now, here's my angle. Because I'm not really hearing anyone say this yet, and I'm shocked because when I first saw this, it was yesterday, and how is nobody asking how they drew this thing in the sky? Am I nuts? Have I gone full conspiracy theorist? Have I gone full nut job here, or am I so logical that I'm blowing your mind? How come nobody's asked how he was able to spray that in the sky? Was this chemtrails? Was this contrails? If you believe that this was contrails, I got a bridge to sell you underwater. So seriously, how come no one's asking? How was this pilot able to draw that in the sky? Do naval aircraft just happen to always have, I guess, whatever the streams that they use when they do these things at air shows? Is that what this was from? Was it from some air show thing? Or was this something else? Was this possibly a chemtrail? Maybe the naval pilot was trying to tell us something like, hey, you're getting screwed by these chemtrails. These chemtrails are you-know-whating planet Earth. Or was it honestly just an innocent prank? But again, how comes no one's asking what this is? Because they say that chemtrails don't exist. So then why don't you say, okay, well then how did he spray that? Was it just some fun stuff that they just have on these naval aircrafts just for fun in case they want to draw something in the sky? Or do they constantly have them ready to go with the chemicals that they spray into the sky? I'm just asking the questions here. All right, let's cover some of this news here as Weinstein Gate continues to, well, I guess just more accusations against more people coming every day. Tell me if you've ever heard of anything like this before. This is actually yesterday. Al Franken is calling for an ethics investigation into himself. What? What is that? So here's Al Franken. By the way, some people are coming to Franken's defense. Maybe he's truly just a very perverted comedian. Then again, maybe he's a sexual assaulter. I don't know. Innocent till proven guilty, right? Wrong, not anymore. Of course, there was a picture. There was a lady, Leanne Tweeden, who's gone public, spoke about her story, given you the details as much as we don't want to hear them. But then Al Franken calls for an ethics investigation into himself. No. No, it wasn't Nancy Pelosi. No, it wasn't Maxine Waters. No, it wasn't Chuck Schumer. No, it wasn't Mitch McConnell. No, it wasn't Paul Ryan. No, it was Al Franken himself. So Al Franken calls for an ethics investigation into himself. Okay. This just gets weirder and weirder. The NFL is now investigating James Winston after an Uber driver accused him of groping her. Now, this is the kind of stuff that's dangerous to me. Uber driver says that Winston basically reached over the driver's seat and tried grabbing and groping her. I just find this hard to believe. I'm sorry. I just really find this hard to believe that an NFL player would be that desperate to grope an Uber driver. Then again, the NFL players have personal drivers given to them by the NFL, and they still choose to drink and drive. But this is dangerous stuff. Now, again, you just accuse someone, and then they're guilty. It just happened to Dallas Cowboys running back, Ezekiel Elliott from St. Louis. I know people that know him well in St. Louis. He's not the type of guy that's ever done that stuff. And then you have this. Ohio Dem discloses sexual relations with over 50 very attractive females. Democrat Bill O'Neill tweets this out. He's sick of all the sexual assault accusations going around, so he wants you to know he's been sexually involved with 50 beautiful women, so you can't bring that up in the campaign trail. An interesting way to try to sidestep it. Welcome back to the War Room. I'm your host, Owen Schroyer. And we are going to be joined by Jack Posobiec in the second hour here, just in about 25 minutes. Stephanie Hamill will join me in the third hour, and she actually has got some breaking news that she brought to my attention that we're going to be covering, so I'm looking forward to that. Real quick, I want to put out the phone number as we will be intermittently taking your calls throughout the rest of the broadcast today. 888-201-2244, 888-201-2244. And I was actually talking to Alex Jones in the break. It's tough to see and understand and comprehend and feel right now like we're having the victories, like we're on top, like we're dominating, but we really truly are, folks. And I do believe that there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we're just not aware of and that we will probably be made aware of down the road. But the victories are devastating for the Democrats specifically and the establishment. And you have to understand, that is why Weinstein Gate is happening. That is why all of this stuff is going down, because they want to create an environment much like that in the French Revolution, where all you have to do is accuse your enemy and then they're guilty. So no court, no judge, no trial, no jury, nothing. Just, you sexually assaulted me. Okay, you're guilty. You must resign. And keep in mind how important every vote is on the Senate as the Democrats continue to push for impeachment. This is also a party that is not really having many congressional victories. So they need this bad. Their backs are against the wall, and they're flopping like a fish out of water, struggling for life. So that's really what's behind all of this that's going on right now. And it's because Trump. Understand that. That's how we've changed the world. Before I go to the phone lines here, I just want to read this, and because I want to put this out there to get the audience's take behind this. Last week, we heard from the audience about, is sexual assault really an epidemic in America, or is this just the entertainment industry and sections of our government that are just projecting their sexual perversions on the rest of the society? And it seemed like that's what most of the females believed that called in. I think that's what everyone believed. So this is what Bill O'Neill tweets out, though. Bill O'Neill is an associate justice on the Ohio Supreme Court, and he's running for Ohio governor, and he's a Democrat. He takes to Facebook, and he posts this. Now that the dogs of war are calling for the head of Senator Al Franken, I believe it is time to speak up on behalf of all heterosexual males. I can get behind that. Speaking up for heterosexual males, we're being demonized. As a candidate for governor, let me save my opponent some research time. This is where it gets interesting. In the last 50 years, I was sexually intimate with approximately 50 very attractive females. He then explains their characteristics, if you will. And then he says, Now we can get back to discussing legalizing marijuana and opening the state hospital network to combat the opioid crisis. I'm so disappointed by this national feeding frenzy about sexual indiscretions decades ago. Peace. Huh. An interesting take. A fresh take, if you will. I'm not really sure what to think about that. I wonder how many other people that are running for office might take the same approach as Bill O'Neill. And where are the Democrats? Why haven't the Democrats excoriated him? How dare you stick up for sexual assault in Al Franken? How dare you say you were intimately sexually with women? How dare you be a heterosexual? How dare you? So we'll see what happens to Bill O'Neill. I'm not even sure what to think about that, to be honest. I'm not sure about what to think about Al Franken calling for an ethics investigation into himself. Well, Al, you ought to know. Step down if there's an issue. I'm not sure what to think about now every time an athlete looks at a woman, you know, they're sexually assaulting them. In fact, this is the perfect time. Now, this is a video from Long Beach Griffey, a feminism parody and perhaps one of the funniest feminist memes you will ever see. Let's watch this video.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, excuse me. Excuse me, sir. Huh? I just seen you eye raping me right now. What? Yeah, eye raping. You glanced at me for half a second, so it's considered eye raping. Man, I didn't even notice you was standing there to right now. First of all, don't mansplain me, and rape is not a joke. Do not joke about rape. When did I joke about Why are you man-interrupting me? Don't man-interrupt me. That is also rape. I would call the cops, but you're privileged because you're a man and they won't do anything. Where is your logic? I'm a feminist. We don't use logic. You don't need logic to prove that all men in the world contribute to a rape culture, all women are oppressed, and that there is a gender wage gap. There is no wage gap. Disagreement triggered. Shut the f*** up! There is no wage gap. Rape culture does not exist in the U.S. And mansplaining is not a thing. Do your research. It's not a thing. Google it. Do your research. Mansplaining is not a thing. You're ignorant. Go tweet that. Do your research, bitch. Do your research.
All right, so that's Long Beach Griffey. Apparently he's on Facebook. I don't have Facebook. So, guys, let's see if we can get Long Beach Griffey on, because that video itself is worth having on the show. That was just some absolute brilliant work. I've already watched it 10 times. Otherwise, I'd probably be crying in laughter right now. But watch out. Watch out. That's what they're going to say next. Oh, my gosh, he looked at me. That man raped me. Excuse me, miss? You raped me. I saw you. I was standing in line at a grocery store about to grab a Kit Kat. I'm sorry. I saw you rape me with your eyes. You eye raped me. Security! Security! Oh, you know it's coming. Oh, don't be surprised when that happens, folks. Wow. All right, let's go to the phone lines. We've got some people calling in. Let's go to Kevin in Virginia. Go ahead, Kevin.
Hey, Owen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you.
All right. The reason why I'm calling in is I feel that this whole sex thing going on, I feel like it's railroading from the narcocracy that's getting ready to go down, with Hillary Clinton, you know, being in charge of the narcocracy or ahead of the narcocracy, if you know what I mean. I'm also lumping in Uranium One with the narcocracy, but I feel like this is nothing more than to
Okay, so you're saying you're kind of expanding on the entire Weinstein Gate sexual assault allegations being a political stunt, and you're kind of adding in that added aspect where it's like this also works as a distraction from any investigations being done to Hillary Clinton, or just the reemerging of people exposing what Hillary Clinton has been doing for her decades in government.
Bingo. Yes. Although this is a shame that what's going on. I mean, I feel bad for the women that have been sexually assaulted, but I feel that this is nothing more than a huge distraction for what's really going on in D.C., and that's the narcocracy as well as Uranium One.
Yeah, and again, it's a fair question. Thank you for the call, Kevin. It's always a fair question to say, why now? Why now? And there's been plenty of people that have offered their opinion saying, well, you know, sometimes you do harbor fear when carrying these truths with you. Sometimes you do feel intimidated or this, that, and the other thing. So maybe there's an element of truth to that. Or, again, maybe it's all happening now because it's all part of a political agenda. Maybe it's a little bit of both. But there's certainly political undertones to this. Thank you, Kevin. Let's go to John in Pennsylvania. Go ahead, John.
I love the president because he's like the modern-day Abraham Lincoln.
Modern-day Abraham Lincoln, you say, huh?
Yes. He's
I always kind of felt he was more of a John Hancock, George Washington combination. How do you make the Lincoln comparison?
Because he's for the people, not what other people want him to do. He's for the people, what the people want. And I don't watch the mainstream media, honestly.
You know, and the one thing, too, about Lincoln that I think Trump kind of has or shares, except probably even more so, is, you know, Abraham Lincoln at the time was such an icon of pop culture. Like, you couldn't go anywhere without Abraham Lincoln, you know, being a subject of discussion or polarizing things. That kind of like what you're seeing with Trump now. I mean, Lincoln was probably the last president to be that polarizing, that popular, that ingrained in pop culture and just everything that was anything. So it's interesting. But yeah, plenty of support in Pennsylvania. He's reopening the mines up there, and I think he's going to see continued support in Pennsylvania. And maybe Pennsylvania might just keep going red in these presidential elections down the line. Very interesting. Thank you for the call, John, in Pennsylvania.